Court thinks "give me a lawyer dog" refers to a lawyer dog. When DMX said, "where are my dogs at?" he wasn't referring to his actual dogs. That's not how the morons at the Louisiana Supreme Court would see it, though. A suspect in an interrogation told detectives to just give me a lawyer dog. Anyone with half a brain understands he's saying give me a lawyer, not a dog that's a lawyer. But that's exactly how the Louisiana Supreme Court ruled. They said the suspect was in fact asking for a lawyer dog and not invoking his right to counsel. Once an individual asks for an attorney, cops are supposed to can it with the questions. But the court clarified that requesting a canine attorney need not cause the police to stop questioning someone. So if a white guy is being questioned and he says, "just give me a lawyer, dude," is he really asking for a surfer lawyer? Or if a Hawaiian guy said, "just give me a lawyer, brah," is he really just asking for a bra? The ruling by the High Court could have serious implications for the suspect charged with sexual assault because it will allow his subsequent incriminating statements into evidence at his pending trial. Can't get enough of the judicial branch? Keep watching.
Broke 50 Cent ordered to court after showing off piles of money on Instagram.
I can't see my legs!
Remember when 50 Cent filed for bankruptcy last July? Well, you're not the only one who had a tough time believing it. A Connecticut judge is borderline calling shenanigans on the 40-year-old rapper after seeing videos and images like these that 50, who wasn't supposed to have 2 quarters to rub together to make his name, posted to social media. Take this photo, posted 3 months ago by 50 Cent, showing a fridge full of stacks of cash as an example. Or this one. Does this look like a man who should be filing for bankruptcy? Well, it apparently doesn't to bankruptcy judge Ann M. Nevins, who, according to CNN Money, had this to say to 50's lawyer. Quote, "I'm concerned about allegations of non-disclosure or a lack of transparency in the case." She ordered the rapper, whose real name is Curtis Jackson, to show up to court and answer a few questions. 50's bankruptcy claim was prompted by the reported $29 million he owes an ex-girlfriend, a bank, and a headphone maker. So, do you think 50 Cent is actually broke? Or is the guy just trying to get out of paying his debts? Chime in the comments section below.
Ever wonder how the Supreme Court nomination process works? President Barack Obama picked centrist Judge Merrick Garland to fill the Supreme Court seat left vacant by the sudden death of Justice Antonin Scalia. Politics aside, here's the nomination process in a nutshell. The Supreme Court is the highest court in the land, presided over by 9 justices. When a spot opens up, it's up to the President and the Senate to fill in the vacancy. The President selects a candidate from a roster of qualified individuals and formally announces his pick for Senate approval. Once paperwork on the candidate's finances and personal background is completed, and he passes an FBI background check without incident, it's off to the hearings in the Senate Judiciary Committee. The 20 members of the committee interview the nominee. After reviewing his qualifications and previous work, they vote. Regardless of the committee's recommendation, the nominee is sent to the Senate for a full vote. All he needs is a simple majority, at least 51 votes, to win confirmation. Once confirmed, a Supreme Court justice holds the appointment for life until he or she dies, resigns, or is impeached. Whether Garland's nomination even makes it to a committee hearing remains to be seen. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says there will be no confirmation hearings during an election year. But that could change. Hillary Clinton is favored to win in November, and the Democrats could take back control of the Senate. Clinton would probably nominate a more liberal justice than Garland, who is regarded by members of both parties as a moderate. And if Trump wins, no one knows what kind of person he would nominate.
Is this humane? An Oregon court ruled that a Southern Oregon couple must silence their incessantly barking dogs by surgically removing their vocal cords. The couple was sued by neighbor Deborah and Dale Crean in 2012 over the noises several of their Tibetan Mastiff dogs were making by barking. The Creans were compensated $238,000 for putting up with the noise, and the judge also ordered that the owners debark their Mastiffs. According to the American Veterinary Medical Association, devocalization or debarking requires surgically cutting an animal's vocal cords, which decreases the volume, pitch, and intensity of the animal's bark. The technique is considered a last resort by the Medical Association and is strongly opposed by various animal rights groups in the U.S. The owners told Oregon Live that the dogs were raised to protect their sheep from predators. However, the court ruled that their Tibetan Mastiffs weren't ideally suited to work with livestock and ordered them to debark the dogs or replace them with pooches that were more suitable for the task. The Oregon chapter of the Humane Society of the United States said that there are other ways to discourage a dog from barking, such as with citronella spray and shock collars, or by simply building a visual barrier between the dogs and the neighbor's property. It's unknown whether the couple plans to appeal the decision to the Oregon Supreme Court.
Could Obama make a recess appointment? Senate Republicans, forgetting that Americans voted Barack Obama into office in 2012 and that he's in fact still president, argued that the Supreme Court's current vacancy should not be filled until the new president takes office next year. And they vowed to make it nearly impossible for Obama to fill that vacancy until then. President Obama could choose to appoint Antonin Scalia's replacement while the Senate is on holiday between July 18th and September 5th. In 2014, the Supreme Court decided that recess appointments can occur if the Senate is on a break that lasts more than 10 days, as this year's scheduled summer holiday does. In this time frame, President Obama can appoint Scalia's replacement without the Senate's approval. Some with close connections in the Senate suggest that Republican senators may avoid going on a break altogether to prevent this from happening. The Senate may also appoint a member from Virginia, Maryland, or Delaware to hold pro forma sessions during the break, ensuring that the Senate is always in session. Although back in 2012, Obama said the pro forma sessions do not override his constitutional responsibility to make appointments. Obama reportedly said late Sunday that he will not try to push through a nominee during the current Senate recess that runs from February 12 to February 22nd. This could still mean him pushing one through at a later date, or that he plans to nominate someone moderate and so qualified that even the Senate Republicans can't really say no without looking bad.